Welcome back to this week's episode. Now, it's Saturday. I was meant to be printing some t-shirts today, but it's all gone wrong. So, I will hand you back in time now to Chris with the Land Rover update, and then we will get involved with this. Now, this was my sensible, cheap car, but I couldn't help myself. So I brought lots of parts.
Hello, welcome back to another episode involving the delightful Land Rover. So, I've got on with a few bits on this because I've got a little bit of spare time again this week. So, we're moving on. I just made this lovely front panel here. I hope you all enjoy it as much as I do. Again, this is a hot rod, really. Oh, it's a custom car, so trying to keep stuff a little bit different. The original panel wasn't here anyway. But the original panel is just flat. Like, it's just a really boring sort of around that sort of height, just kind of a flat panel. And yeah, that's a bit dull. So I worked in the radius of this. So it's exactly, I don't know how well you'll see it, but yeah, that's the same radius. And then centerpiece. Now, my next step on this is to strip the whole thing down because we need to paint a load of stuff. I've got to paint all in there. I've got to paint all the underside of there. The dash needs painting. The pillars need painting. And we painted this like a year ago, so it's picked up some scuffs and stuff. So that's my first job. No more talking. Let's get on with it. Get it stripped down. Okay, so I got sidetracked. Well, I did get sidetracked. I wasn't following the list when I said I was going to strip this down. There's jobs that needed to be done first. One of which was these sill ends. Now originally this comes down and then follows round down to here. Well, with the bumper and everything, when that mounts, this sill is going to be a fair amount higher than what the bumpers would be. So we're kind of trying to bring that sort of shape back. So what I've started off with here is this box, because we need to add this box onto the bottom of this box. So I am making currently end pieces which will go kind of something like that to then join in there. Now to do this, we're starting with this box, then with the shape drawn on, we cut this out and then cut along here and then hammer that section up and weld that on. So in a moment those three will be done. There they are. Now you'll notice there's only two of them because I got ahead of myself a little bit. Here is this side. I'll show you the other side of what it was like. So it's just like open-ended box on each end. So I've made them. I've welded that up. I cut out a section of that box so that sits in it. So I've got a weld around it. Same with the rear, I had to cut that back a little bit, put a plate in, and bring that so that it all follows that line. Now all I need to do is cut a length of this size box, which will go in there, all the way along to there, and weld it all along, and then do a load of grinding, clean it all up so that it all looks like one original piece. If Jack can be bothered, he'll throw you a picture up of a standard Land Rover, of what the standard side looked like.
I can't be bothered. Sorry, Chris. But what I will do is show you the sills because I was just editing this and realised he didn't film it. So, as you can see, the the sills are finished. Now he's done a real nice job on them. I don't know how well you'll pick that up in the camera. I'll have a look at this side again. I don't know how well you'll see it in the camera, but he's done a real nice job on them. So they just need now undersealing to match the texture and painting. Same with this front panel that he's done. Underseal, paint. And again, surprise, surprise, same as the rear. Now, that's pretty much the metalwork finished on the Land Rover now. So the videos are going to be more technical things. Obviously we need to mount the bench that I done in the last video, wire up the engine, fuel lines, all that sort of stuff. So in the coming episodes, that will be little bits like that. So if that interests you, you're in for a treat. But, like I said, we've got a few different things, like the Escort. Everyone asked for a video on that, so what we're going to do is one long special video on that. Well, special. I don't know if that's the correct term, but we're going to do one long video on that from start to finish. So that won't be coming out for a couple of weeks probably, realistically, by the time we actually bag it, film it, edit it, that sort of thing. But that will come out as one video. Land Rover is going to be just in with the day-to-day stuff, like what you're now about to watch. So enjoy. So something a little bit different today, which I wouldn't normally bother filming, but I thought content is content. So this is a little Mark 6 Golf diesel I bought. Cheap, very cheap. As a little winter thing, so I don't have to drive the Austin in winter, but the issue is I have a problem, the same as probably a lot of you, where I can't leave something alone. So I brought some bits for it. So just quickly to run down the issues with the car. The paint on the bonnet is not paint. Most of it's blown off. This side has got some really nice desert patina. This side of the bumper, it's got a big scuff on it. This wing is rusty and there's paint missing. Sills are a bit iffy. That trim is missing, but I've got that. The rear arches are burnt from the wheels being too wide. This bumper keeps popping off. These are the wheels the car came on, but I do have speed lines. So I got 19-inch speed lines for it. Other than that, the only real issues with the car is the cam belt keeps stretching, I believe is the issue, because it hasn't had a cam belt in 94,000 miles. So it's about 30-something thousand overdue. But what we have bought is the cheapest coilovers I could find, and exhaust bits, because if it's low, it can be louder. But then we'll drop it on the 19th, and I'm going to paint the whole front end, and then it should be, I'm going to get the cam belt done obviously, I'm not doing it myself because it would, explode. But that's the plan, and I think I'm going to get into it. So, let's go. So, now I've looked underneath this box. I brought this little pipe. So that'll replace that box. I'm thinking, because these pipes are offset, if I cut this box out, then cut a section out of here, shorten that so they're in line, a little bit of straight pipe in there, and then that back one. Because it's got these GTD, GTI, whatever bumpers they are, so it's got twin tips. And I don't want to be one of them weird people that just has smoke coming out of one tip. So, let's go. As you can tell, I'm no exhaust. As you can tell, I'm no exhaust expert, but shortened this one, like I said, added that straight bit of pipe in, so we're one box down. Now I've got to work out this back box, so I think my plan is I'll move that gearbox jack to support this pipe. I can drop that off of the hangers then, take that out of the way, we'll put the little bit of pipe in the T-piece, and then work out where the tips go and build it in from there, but it's going surprisingly well so far. So I don't want to be too boring, so I haven't just left the camera running, but where we are. Obviously done that little delete, now we've got this thing, these things, but yeah. So basically all I got to do now is drop it down so I can weld around the tops. I've just welded the bottom half of everything. So drop it down so we can weld the tops, and then put the hangers on, and then we can go for the big start up and hear the almighty power of the diesel. Which hopefully doesn't sound too ridiculous, but I can't help myself. I like a loud car. No matter how much I moan about how loud the Austin is, I do like a louder car. But I might be getting too old for that, so we shall see. So there we have it, an exhaust. For no other reason than the fact that I'm a child. So let's start it up and see what happens. Well, that sounds shit. So, I cleaned out my K&N and, no, pipe across, because it was like matted with stuff. So I cleaned that out, and actually the car drives a lot better. It's almost as if you should service these things. But I got drop links, top mounts, cheapest coilovers I could find, and a few other little bits. So over the next, week or so, I'll get all those fitted. I need to get my other two wheels, and then we can wind it down onto the ground. Now, I was going to be sensible with it, but I'm already thinking about a chassis notch and maybe trying to build a new subframe so I can raise that. But this is coming. That's going to get finished. Thank you for bearing with us while we're in the middle ground between, starting the Navara and doing a bit on the Escort or whatever. I haven't got anything to ask you to answer in the comments, so you can just say hello if you want to. But I've now got to go home because the Austin's been sat in the drive for like weeks now, and it's quite full of water, I'd imagine, by this point. So I'm taking that to Snetterton tomorrow, not to race, but to go and watch a race. So I need to go and sort that out. So I'm going to have to end this one here. But as always, thank you for the support. Like, comment, subscribe. Things can only get better. I would edit that song in here, but I'll get done for copyright. So, thank you for watching, and until the next one, goodbye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.